Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm Cameron Pleasant and this is Tabletop Pleasant. Today we have a deck profile, Earth Ice. Let's get into it. Okay, so first up we have 3 1-drop snows. So 1-drop snow is a really good card. He's 1-drop and when he attacks he dulls a forward. So we'll get more into that a little bit later. Next up we have Genesis. 3 Genesis. I really like Genesis. When he enters the field, you choose 1 forward opponent controls, dull it and freeze it. When Genesis deals damage, your opponent discards a card. So he's just all around good. Next up we have 3 Opus 6 Renoa. Now Opus 6 Renoa is really good and I'll get into the combos with her soon. But like, for example, you can combo her off with Genesis, so when she enters the field, Genesis gets banished, then Genesis comes back dull, and then you get to pop Genesis effect again, which is really good. And last up we have 1 single copy of Vayne, Opus 2 Vayne. He's really good if you're going up against a control deck, because he just says, keep your opponent's forwards dull. Next up we have Legend Vincent at 3. Now Legend Vincent is just a really good card, can't be broken by card effects, so you're not really worrying about Odins or just flat out break effects. You got to deal in damage to break him, so he's just a good card. 1 copy of Promo Vincent, 5-drop EX burst. If you hit him on an EX, you get a search for another Vincent, so it just gets through the deck really quick. Just an all-around good card. We got 2 2-drop Euphies. The only wind in the deck. This card's just good for Vincent, giving him Brave and plus 1,000. You can't go wrong with that, I think. We've got 1 copy of Camelot. Camelot is really good. You play him onto the field and you get to search for a dark card. So that's just good. Plus we play him to start Sybil, which speeds him out there. 1 copy of Nidhogg. Nidhogg is really good in this specific deck because I like to spam it with Renoa. Like Renoa, Nidhogg, getting off Nidhogg's effect more than once is just insane. Removing a card from the field and removing a card from your opponent's hand, you just can't go wrong with that. Some people are a bit iffy on Nidhogg because of the cost, but I really like Nidhogg because Nidhogg. Next up we have our monster lineup. I play 3 Gigas from Opus 6. Gigas is really good. You play this in basically any Earth deck that runs Shantoto because it's just good. Like, you have 3 Gigas on the field, which is essentially 3 monsters at 9k on the field, and you play Shantoto, you're wiping your opponent's field, but you're keeping your field alive. Like, you might have a forward field, I don't know, but Gigas and Shantoto, so good. Next up, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this card's name right, but I think it's Mashosu from Opus 6. I play 3 of those because it breaks dull forwards, and what does Ice do? It dulls forwards. So that's pretty self-explanatory. Up next, we're into our backup lineup. Only 1 copy of Shantoto. I'd like to add another, I just haven't found the room in the deck for it yet. But once we do more adjustments on the deck, probably more Shantotos, because Shantoto, as I said, with Gigas, so good. 2 copies of Star Sybil. Star Sybil is really good. That goes back to Camelot. You search your Cam. You search your Shantoto as well. So that's another reason you don't need more than 1 copy of Shantoto. So I'm behind in the game. I play Star Sybil. I can catch up at that point. And yeah, play Sybil, search the Toto, next turn, play the Toto, if I have to. Up next, we have 2 copies of Minor. Minor is just good, it becomes a 2-drop, more or less, because you get another backup backhand. Any cards that you're missing later in the game, so I don't know, maybe I need a Nidhogg, maybe I need a Vincent, maybe I want to hit off a Vincent effect, maybe I need a Vayne because I only play 1 copy of Vayne, maybe a Renoa. Whatever it is that you need, Minor is there for you. We play 2 copies of Momodi. Momodi is really, really good. Pay 0, give a forward Brave. Like there's just nothing bad about that. One copy of Scholar from Opus 6. This could get you back your Titan, more or less. This card's debatable in the deck, but the amount of times I've searched a Titan and it just changes things, I think. 1 copy of Monk, just another 2-drop, plus 3,000 power. It can just get you past something if you need to. That's another debatable card. 1 copy of Mod Mobius from Opus 5. This is just a card that gets me a forward. So another minor, basically. We played 2 copies of Devout. Devout is good. So you play your Devout, basically says I don't mind ditching my Renoas to the break zone. So I play a Devout, get my Renoa back, or whatever it is. It could be my Genesis. Whatever I need at that point in time, Devout is good. 2 starter Jill Nabats. It's got the EX burst, which is always good. Yeah, because we're dulling stuff, it's really good to freeze. You want to freeze your opponent's forwards, get in that little bit of damage. 1 Sarah, because we play Snow. 1 Sarah protects Snow. And Snow's a fairly big part of this deck, I would imagine. We've got a Time Mage, which is basically another Renoa, more expensive Renoa, more or less, because you're paying 3 and then you're dulling, and you're paying 2 to play it on the field. But it's a 2-drop, and it's good just to have 2 drops on the field. So you're probably not going to play Time Mage's effect, but it's there if you need it. Up next, we have 1 copy of Ysayle. Ysayle is just good, searches you a ice forward. And the last backup is Chaos. Chaos is good because you can search it off of Camelot. It's mana fixes if you need it, whatever. Into our summons, we've got 2 EX Titans. Titan is just the best. Especially when you're going for a block. So your opponent sees, oh yep, you've got smaller forwards than me, I go for attack. They attack, you play Titan. Buff your forward by 2,000. So maybe that just puts you past where you need to be, and then you can either deal the damage to the forward who's attacking, but what I prefer to do is deal it to another forward. So what you're hoping to do is break their forward with the block, break another forward with the effect. It's so good. 2 Hades from Opus 6. This is just a really good card. Choose a dull forward, break it, and then the owner discards a card. The cost of 5, pretty high, but if you're breaking a forward of 5, then you get it, you still get it, because your opponent has to discard a card. 2 Shivas from Opus 3. Choose 2 forwards and dull them. So that could get you in for the last damage, that could do a lot of things. You could combo that off with the monster to break their to break their doll forward. One copy of Matthias the Corrupt, an EX burst. Opponent puts an attacking forward into the break zone. So if you hit that on an EX, it breaks their forward, and hopefully it's a good forward. Also, you can play it and just break their forward. Last up, we have one copy of Zodiac, Keeper of Precepts. This is a really good card if played at the right time. So you want to play it where you got Cam on the field or Nidhogg on the field, whoever you got on the field, and you pay 3 less, so it becomes pretty cheap. Break all your opponent's forwards. You do take damage from it, but I don't know. I think if you play it at the right moment, then it's really good. So you can play it off of, you get Cam, next turn, play it. Okay, that was the deck profile. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Cameron Pleasant. This has been Tabletop Pleasant. Please like and subscribe. See you next time.